Andy,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So there's a lot of people that were busy today. I text them and they're busy.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, well, let's get it started. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, me, I'm Andy Buy Houses. I teach people how to build houses from the ground up using credit cards. What we teach you how to get the high limit credit cards using your your business credit, and we take the money off the high limit credit cards. Then we go ahead and start building, get up to the foundation or either the walls. Then we take the money off the cards. Well, no, after that, then we get the hard money. Get the hard money to go ahead and finish the project and pay off them cards. And then at the end, we either sell it or either refi to get up out of it, to get our money back and reflip, or either sell and get 100K profit. Either way, we make 100K, either in equity or profit.
So tell them, why did you get into credit cards? Why did you
Got
start
in the
building?
credit cards because it was hard for us to get funding because the convicted felon had charges, had problems in the past, so it was hard for us to get funding. So the easiest way for us was to get credit cards. Anybody could get credit cards. All you need is a good credit score, and it's easy to get a good credit score. So we went that way because it was more easier to start it.
So my name is Gigi, and I do credit repair services. I do business setup, business funding. I do personal funding. Andy and I are basically partnered up together. So I help people get in the position to be able to get funding and jump into real estate. And no, you don't need good credit in order to go through his boot camp. What are when is your next boot camp, Andy?
June 11th and 12th is coming up, about 9 days away. It's going down, so if you're not there, sorry for you. The next one, some people be talking about I'm gonna just make the next one, make the next one. The next one might not be the same price.
Yeah.
So the more you wait, the more you pay.
So what do they get out if they go to the boot camp?
When you get out of boot camp, you leave the boot camp knowing how to build a house from the ground up. So basically, you got the credit there. Obviously, we're gonna get your credit right. Then we're gonna show you how to get the high limit credit cards. Then we're gonna have architects there, engineers. We're gonna have a hard money guy. We're gonna have the block guys, electricians. We're gonna have subcontractors there. We're gonna have the whole team there ready for you to meet, people that you can meet, and people that's gonna help you get through the process, show you what you need, tell you how to get it. And then on that second day, that's the day that we take you to all the properties that we got going on. Well, not all of them. We're gonna take you to some of them. We're gonna take you to them, let you see the process, hands on, what stage it's in, and what's coming up next, and basically give you that hands-on feel.
Yeah, so the projects that he has, he's not just making $100,000. He's making over $100,000 per project, right, Andy?
Yeah, 100 just the minimum. I just said 100 just so everybody could know that we ain't taking no less than 100. But each property average at least 140.
Right. And now he didn't talk about it, but this man, he ended up dropping out of high school. He dropped out of high
I
school.
didn't drop out. I got kicked out.
My bad.
It's the difference.
We're still trying to get your education. So he got kicked out of high school and he ended up getting his GED, but in the process, he ended up going to prison for 4 years. Right. So after after getting the record, that's when he hopped into doing credit cards in order to jump into real estate. Right, Andy?
Yes, ma'am.
So when there's a will, there's a way.
It's always a way. As long as you're still breathing, it's always a possibility.
Right. So to give you guys some pointers on credit cards, right, on how to increase your score. Let's say that you have a 3-digit card. By that I mean that it's under $1,000, like $999. You should not be emotionally attached to that card. And let's say that it's maxed out, right? What you can do to bump your score up is get that account removed from your report. I mean, eventually the card's going to get shut down because the card's getting removed from your report. But the high limit or the high balance on the card is going to be removed from your report. So that's going to bump your score up. That's one way to bump your score up. And if you guys have questions, please use that little question mark on the side. I can't keep up with the comments. It says, it was a G Trank 07. I have 2 felonies. How can I get started in this business?
You could get credit cards with felonies. As long as you get your credit score right, or a GG Club, you get your credit score right. You could just get set up an LLC, get your LLC, and just they show you how to get funding with your LLC using your personal guarantee, and then you get your high limit credit cards through there.
Right. And
Your part.
you don't need to have good credit to start the LLC. So even if you don't know what type of business you want to start, just start. Make sure that whatever you name the business is not specific to a niche. So do consulting. Like you can do your name and then like Andy's consulting business or whatever, just something that's generalized. And that way, if the lenders call you and they ask you like what you do, you're basically consulting other real estate agents, or I don't know, just something that's not, you're not so involved in that niche. So while you figure out what you want to do in the business, you can start the business credit and get that started. There's a question here. It says, Casino Mac, what credit card do you have to have? What credit card do you have to have for what, Casino Mac? Are you talking about the high limit cards? It just depends on, there's different lenders that give you high limit cards.
It ain't no specific card you have to have. It's just whatever card you can get, whatever cards you get a list of, and the ones that you qualify for and you get, they're the ones we use. It ain't none in particular.
So when you go through the boot camp, let's say that you go in and you have the majority of your debt on the personal side, right? But you have some business credit. We're going to show you how to transfer that debt from the personal side onto your business side, which is ultimately going to bump your score up. And it's not doing the cash transfers or those high rated transfers. Let me show you a different way. What credit score, Casino Mac, what credit score do y'all recommend? So for funding, do you want to talk about it, Andy?
You do the credit. What would I talk about it? For funding, it's the 680, but for your to get your credit card, it's a 720.
Yep. So Andy we're partnered up with a third party lender. And if you don't have the $5,000 to jump into the boot camp from Jump, they'll go ahead and lend you the money. And it's around $300, right, Andy? The month.
270.
$70 per month. You have to have a minimum of $680 in order to qualify with them. Monique Kennedy is asking, when is the boot camp?
June 12th.
It's June 11 and 12. It's a Saturday and Sunday. Do you guys have any other questions about credit, business, anything? Um, Andy, do you want to talk about what the mentees came out of? It's I think it's in Florida. It's in Clearwater, Florida, St. Petersburg.
You say talking about what the mentees did, what?
What Eddie about? Is Eddie online? About how Eddie came out. What Eddie
You're
came out.
supposed to be calling them on. Eddie
I,
ain't on?
I asked him to request to be on the live. I don't know their handles.
Nobody though? They ain't gonna request without you saying nothing.
Yeah, no, I sent them a message. Eddie, if you're on here, request to get on the live, please. We had a mentee come out of Andy's boot camp. He says he's 19. He says he's 19, and within maybe like 3 weeks, a month, he was able to get $250,000 in funding. So it's basically still a teenager that did it.
What about the other people that got funding at the boot camp?
So at the boot camp, when two of the people that went through the boot camp, I was able to get them funding. They got two of them walked out with one credit card, $10,000 each, and no inquiry on their report. So they walked in with more, aside from the knowledge of how to build houses from the ground up, they walked out with funding.
Right, they walked out with double what they paid in their investment.
Yeah. G-Trink07, I have a LLC already, but my credit score is low. How can I get credit card under my LLC with bad credit? All right, so the whole concept of having an LLC is for liability purposes. If you're going to start applying for business funding, you have to do it right. Don't PG, meaning don't be a personal guarantor for the debt that you apply through with your business. In order to treat the business as its own person and build the business credit separate from you. And to build the business credit takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months. And you don't have to have good credit in order to start building the business credit. You can work on both your personal and the business simultaneously. Did that answer your question, G-Trink? G-Trink07. Girl dad buys. What is the best way to dispute verified accounts? Ask them how they verify the accounts. Who did they use to ask them to provide the documents that verify the accounts? And what accounts are you trying to remove? All right, he said we answered the question. Fuj Leona, how much is the boot camp?
The boot camp is $5,000.
But again, we're partnered up with a third-party lender. So if you guys don't have the money, they'll lend you guys the money and you pay back in installments, $270 per month.
If you got a 680 credit score.
Right.
Or
Right. Stephen Frazier, realtor. Let's say that you complete the boot camp. How ready will one be to start the process after?
After you complete the boot camp, you'll be ready to start building a house on your own. You'll have everything that you need to start building. It'll be on you. Like, you're going to control your destiny after that. Like, it's all going to be in your hands. You're going to know what to do. You just got to go out there and do it. All I could do is show you what to do, tell you how to do it, and show you how to get it. I can't make you go out there and get it. You got to do that on your own.
So Power Dice Capital. What's the LTV after the foundation is up?
It depends on what area you in. But like you say, after the foundation of the whole house. What are you trying to say? By LTV, loan to value on the just the foundation? I don't understand the question.
Yeah, can you be more specific? Power Dice Capital. Oh, Ken's online. He said, "What up, family? Vegas was lit. See y'all soon."
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. I'm still tired from it, from all the networking.
Right.
um, all right, I think I answered all the questions so far. So Andy, what is what do you let's say that they want to jump into the boot camp right now, or they're thinking about jumping to the boot camp. What should they be working on as far as like in order to be prepared for the boot camp? Like, do you think that they should be looking for land, or what do you recommend they be doing?
Yeah, like it's either it's just in general in real estate. If you want to do real estate, you just got to be looking all the time. Like, don't wait to no certain point to start looking. So yeah, if you come into the boot camp, don't wait till you get to the boot camp, then leave the boot camp, then want to start working. You can start working before you go to the boot camp. Like, you could be out here driving for dollars, finding lots that way. You could be letting people know what you're looking for, because a lot of people have people in their family that have properties or got left properties that they sitting on and don't want, but they don't know you want it, so they ain't gonna tell you about it. But a lot of people know people that got stuff like that, so if they don't know that you're looking for it, they'll never let you know about it. But you gotta always let it be known that you're looking for property or whatever you're looking for, looking for land. But you can also just be out there grinding for it now, looking for it. You could be finding you some workers, pulling over to the job sites, catching workers out there working on job sites, and pull over, get their information. Get
Mm-hmm.
their information, ask them about other people. Do you know somebody do plumbing? You know somebody do electrical? You know somebody do HVAC? You got to build up your connections. Go ahead and build that up. Then when you come to the boot camp, when you leave the boot camp, you're already ready. You're ahead of some of the people already there, because a lot of them sitting there waiting to after the boot camp to start to light the fire. And you
Mm-hmm.
started before then, so when you get out, you already now you know what to do. So now you can go out and put it to work. You got your workers lined up, so you'll be a step ahead.
You want to talk about the about the lot you bought and you broke down into pieces and you're selling. You're keeping one part and then you're selling the others.
I got one of the lots I just split up because I had somebody from the last boot camp. He wanted to buy a lot, so he signed up for my mentorship program. So I'm selling him one of the lots, and I'm keeping the rest of them. It was like a quarter of the acre of a lot. So I'm selling him like a quarter of it, and keeping the other two. And got other lots too, like for some of the mentees, some of the people that signed up for the mastermind. I got a couple lots for them too, so they'll be able to purchase. But only deal with people that come to the boot camp. If you don't come to the boot camp, I don't even mess with you.
Wait, so you're not only offering the boot camp, talk about the mastermind.
But that's what I was saying. All the mastermind people, that's the ones that get the lots. The mastermind is like that's like for the people. Okay, when you leave the boot camp, you're gonna know how to go do it all on your own. Then the mastermind, that's for the people that want me to do the step by step with them. They want me to hold their hand while they're going through the process. Want me to either help them build a house, or they come in, they're going to build down here, and they want me to help them find the land, and they want me to help them all the way through the process, or either JV with me. That's for the mastermind people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I offer to them. I offer them help with finding the lots, sell them some of the lots I have. It's just more hands-on with those people. People at the boot camp, you come there, I'm gonna teach you the whole game, how you go out there and run it on your own. But still gonna keep you intact. We still got a chat to where we got everybody that's gonna be in the boot camp. And then everybody get to link up and, talk to each other, ask each other questions. If they have run through anything, if they need any answers or anything, you got the whole group that'll answer it.
Girl Dad Buys. Does your ebook help get started too?
Yeah, the ebook explains everything. It's 40 steps of how to start building a house. It's just the boot camp is just the upgrade from that. The boot camp is teach you the same thing in there, just a little more, and then it's more hands on. It show you, like, some people like to learn hands on. Some people ain't good with just hearing it in the book and trying to put it to work, put it together. So that's why we created the boot camp. The boot camp gonna give you what's in the book, and they're gonna give you that hands on experience. And then they're gonna give you, we tell you all the keys. You get to ask questions at the boot camp. You can't ask questions to the book. So that's one of the benefits. Then you get to meet all the people at the boot camp. You can't meet the people in the book. So it pays to be at the boot camp. Then if that's in the boot camp, we got people in the boot camp. We got some people that already got lots coming there with lots. We got some people coming there with the money with no lots. So we gonna try to combine them people together. Okay, you got the lots, you got the money. Come on, y'all, come on. Let's join for JV and go ahead and get this thing started. It ain't no need to get out here and try to go find nothing. Y'all already got it right here. Make it happen.
And there's that. Andy and I, we attend conferences all the time, right? We just flew to Vegas and then came back. That's why we're both under the weather right now. But it's there's a different feeling of being in a room of people that are on the same mission, but we're all on different paths, but we're all on the same mission, like working towards the same thing. There's just something about that. So that's one of like the main reasons to go to the boot camp. Like you're going to meet people that are trying to do the same thing you're doing, but they're on different paths, trying to get to the same goal.
Right. Like you'll never get in those rooms. You'll never get where you need to be. You never know who in the rooms that could help you spark the light to your fire. Like every time I go to the rooms, I always end up meeting somebody. Like we went to Vegas. We end up finding somebody else that do funding. Somebody else trying to take us away from the funders we already have. They're trying to give us a better deal for y'all, so we can start using them.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is working. Like people starting to see it. People trying to get down, and then it only get better.
Power Dice Capital elaborated on the question for the LTV. He said most you can borrow after you put up the foundation from a hard money lender.
That determines the value of the property, like the area, like what the ARV going to be in the area. So you want to be in the area to where we build in the areas where our ARV is going to be over 300 when we be done building. So once you get up to the foundation, he'll lend you probably 70 to 80% of that ARV.
So y'all be killing me with the names. Glean.
Why you be trying to read the names? Just read the question.
He said, is there a way to hide cards with balances we already have from showing on our credit report? Excuse me. Yes, there is. We show you guys how to hide the utilization from the bureaus in order to keep your scores up. There is a way to do it. You have to change the payment dates, and basically you're bouncing the balances back and forth between the cards. So we go into detail on how to do it at the boot camp, because you have to be able to do it. Like there's specific ways to do it. So you have to sit down and teach you how to do it. Shelby Butler, should I wait for the market to cool down or jump in regardless of the high interest rates? It would be my first property.
The more you wait, the higher they're going to get. Or the more you wait, the more you lose. So to me, if you ask me, and me knowing how the game is, I get in when I could get in as soon as possible. Because there ain't no such thing as waiting for the market to correct. That's just like saying you waiting for the right time, to start a business. It's never going to be the right time. You're going to always have something that you're waiting on. So the best time to jump in is now. Just go ahead and just work through everything. Like, it don't matter about what the rate is, as long as you in the game. People that worry about the rate is the people that's on the sidelines.
Yeah.
People in the game ain't worried about no rate. They just worried about playing and making sure that the profit gonna be big enough to make sure they can still win.
Mentioned to, because we were on another call earlier, and you mentioned something about holding on to the and Airbnb-ing it or renting it out.
Oh,
if the market crashes.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I was just saying, like, cause some people be crying about if the market crashed. I've been listening to them, and I sold my house, and I ended up losing 150 listening to if the market crashed, and it ain't crashed yet. But still, somebody else we were talking to was asking about how the market is, and how it crashed in '08 and all that. And I was saying, like, worst case scenario, if the market crashed when we doing what we doing, we billing at $200K. So the house we building is like worth $375, $400. The market crash, it ain't no way it's gonna crash in half. If it's a crash, it's gonna go down a percentage. It may be a quarter. It may go down to $300K, but it ain't no way it should go down to where we'll be in debt when we in it so low. But somebody that paid top dollar for the property and it crashed, they'll feel it more than we would because we getting in at the lowest price possible.
Mm-hmm.
And worst case scenario, all we got to do is refi it. Well, we ain't got to refi. All we got to do is just hold on to the property. We could refi it, get our money back. Then we could just rent it out, and that'll cover our mortgage. So we won't have no problem. We won't have to worry about anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just rent it out, Airbnb it. Just have
Cause rent still is high.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna crash the rents.
Mm-hmm. People are always gonna look for somewhere to live.
Right, especially down here, there's way more demand than it is houses.
Mm-hmm. Phantom Zone. Gigi, do you have a mentorship like Andy does? If you do, how much you would charge? Oh my God, Andy and I were just talking about it about a week ago. I'm launching it. I'm gonna launch it here like in the next week or two. So follow me on IG and I'm gonna post it on there. It's coming. It's coming. Let me go through the. Okay, there's all right. G Trinked 07. How much is the average price for an acre in Florida?
We don't buy lots in acres. We buy lots by lots. Our lots probably be like six between 45 to 65 square foot, 6,500 square foot. Our lots don't come in acres. That's just from other countries. But other cities with them, without that much going on in the city, if you to buy an acre around here, you'll be lucky to buy an acre. Our stuff don't come in acres.
Yeah.
Like you got to go outskirts to get acres.
How do you find your lots, Andy?
We do drive for dollars. We drive for dollars to find lots. We buy lead lists. We buy lists like code violations, and we skip them. And then we do text blasts to those people. We buy some on the MLS. We buy some from word of mouth. We buy some from wholesalers. We buy them all different ways. There ain't no one way that we do. But the best results is drive for dollars. Ride by a lot. As you see it, to get jot down the information. We got an app called Land Glide that we use. Use that app, and it'll tell you the owners of the house, their mailing address. We'll look them up, find the phone number, and we'll send them, get that address on it. Then we'll send them either a letter or a text saying that we're trying to buy their house.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the power of being in the room, like going to the boot camp. Andy and I met through a mentorship. Like we were complete strangers, probably like this time last year. We didn't know each other.
Right.
So we met through a mentorship. Now we're like, we're on the phone all day, like just bouncing ideas back and forth. So that's the power of being in a room.
Right. When I met G, it was for her to take some inquiries off. I needed 14 inquiries going when I tried Turo and bought all them cars. Needed all them cars going off my credit. So that's how I met Gigi.
Yeah, now
moves together.
BritBrat0783. When do we sign up for the masterclass?
You can sign up for that anytime, any day. That's not a specific day. That's just whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to make moves. And when you sign up for that, you get to come to the boot camp for free. You ain't got to pay for the boot camp. That's included.
King Chevy 87. What is the cost for the mastermind?
The mastermind $25K, and then we also have funding for that too, through the same company, and that get it down to like $1,000 a month if you do the funding.
You want to talk about what they get again? Like you basically hold their hand and you walk them through the process of the building, right?
Yeah, go ahead and explain it.
Basically going through the building process with you. He makes sure that you get it. He's going to go through the first deal with you, everything. He's going to include you in everything he does. So you're basically you're not going to go south. You're going to make the first deal and at the very minimum make $100,000.
Right. Plus you're going to get like weekly Zooms. You're going to get access to the lots I got for sale. Then we're going to show you how to get the cards, show you how to get the cards, what cards to get, give you the list of the cards. We're going to show you how to get the money off the cards. If you don't want the land I got, we help you find land. You get access to all our contractors, everybody we got, our whole team. You get if you need like to find your lots, if you need cold calling scripts or contracts and all that, we give you all that. We just basically give you everything you need to get started. Like we gonna make sure you make it happen. Cause you know you don't sign up, you trusted us to do it, and that's what we're gonna do.
Casino Mac, how much does it cost to build a house?
Depending on the square footage of the house you're trying to build. We build 1,500 square foot houses for $150K. It's $100 a square foot.
How much money do you think they should come in with, like to start building, Andy? Like aside from the land.
Aside from the land, it'll take you about 20 to 25 to 35K to get you to the foundation to where you can have the hard money the lender come in and lend the rest to pay off some credit cards and finish the rest of the bill. So 20 to 25K, 25 to 35K rather. And that's not money you need on you. That's money you need to get off the credit cards.
Keekleen C, will we learn how much of each building material we need to build a property?
Would you learn how much building material is? Know what you said?
Will we learn how much of each building material we need to build a property?
You get that from the subcontractor. They tell you how much material you need, and then you get the price of the material from Home Depot or wherever you buy the material from. It always change. The price of everything change, like weekly, daily. So it'll never be the same. But that's something we teach you. Like you gonna get that all the information at the boot camp.
The Danny Givens, do you have experience with going after pre-foreclosures before they go to auction?
Oh, we buy lots. We don't buy properties.
What about pre-foreclosure
That was
lots?
years ago. We don't do that no more. No, I don't buy lots like that. I don't do no pre-foreclosures. But, you know, people do it, but I don't do it. I don't got the time to chase them people.
Okay, so Britt Brat 0783. I'm ready coming to the boot camp. I also want to sign up for the masterclass.
Okay, just talk to me after the live. Call me. You got my number is 727-601-3427. Just call me, we'll talk. I'll set it up for you.
I think that's all we have. There was another one. How much is a mastermind? We already answered that. G Trank 07, it's $25,000. I think those are all the questions so far. Now, if you guys have collections on there, I recommend that you guys don't pay them off. In order to let's say that Andy's Wells Fargo and I owe Andy $1,000, right? After Andy tries to get money from me for 6 months or so, Andy as Wells Fargo is in the business of losing money. So what Andy's going to do is he's going to turn around and tell the IRS that he tried to collect those $1,000 from me for the past 6 months, and I didn't pay the debt, right? So now what Andy's going to do is once he tells the IRS this, the IRS gives him a credit on the debt that I owed him. So once the IRS gives him that credit, the debt is considered paid in full. But now what Andy does, because he's in the business of losing money and getting money, he sells my debt to a collection agency for pennies on the dollar, right? So now what the collection agency does is now they're going to start harassing me and asking me for the $1,000 plus an admin fee on top of that. So now what Wells Fargo did, or in this case Andy did, and the collection agency did, is they committed tax fraud. So that money is not due. So if you guys have collection accounts on there, don't pay them off. They have to, the collection agency has to prove that they are the owners of that debt, which they're not going to be able to do.
And that was the gym.
Um, let's see if there's any questions. Bankruptcies. If you guys have bankruptcies on your credit report, um, the courts don't report these bankruptcies to the bureaus. What the bureaus do is they go fishing for this information. They go onto a website and they get that information from the website, and then they add the bankruptcies to your reports. So if you guys have bankruptcies, there's a way to remove them. It takes a little bit of while, but there is a way to remove them. Key Glean C. What is a good percentage of LTV to purchase lots at?
Okay, how I do my numbers on a lot when I go buy a lot. Okay, I know what I could build at. I know, just say I build at 100 square foot. I know I use 1,500 square foot lot, well, houses that I put on my lots. So I know I'm gonna spend 150 on the build. And so what I'm gonna look for, I'm gonna see what the house sell for in that area. I'm gonna look for an ARV that's around 350, between 350 and 400. So if I find an ARV between 350 and 400, I'm gonna subtract what it takes for me to build a house. That's 150. So that'll leave me with, we'll just go off 400 ARV. So if I subtract 250 from that, I'll be at 150. No, let me see, 250, 350, 450. Yeah, I'll be at 150. So I know I can make 150 on that. So I could put 50 more K for a lot, and then I know that I still make my 100K. So basically, I'm gonna do my numbers and make sure that I'm making more than 100K on the deal. And if I'm making more than 100K, then it's worth it for me. If not, then it ain't worth it, or I can't spend that much on a lot.
Did you guys get the numbers? Evolution of me black. What if the collector is assigned by the finance company? So if it's a repo, you can still get the repo off your report. But what I would do is if they sold the vehicle, find out. They should have sent you some type of number or letter saying that they sold the vehicle for however much they sold it. So that should have came off your debt, however much you owed, right? And then ask them to see. I wouldn't even ask them if they sent you one. Ask them for a copy of the 1099 form. So basically, if they 1099 the remainder of the debt, what happened is that that debt turned into income. So now you have to report the difference on your taxes. So now if that debt turned into income, then none of that should be reported on your credit report, because income isn't reported on your credit report. It's only debt. Did that make sense? All right. You want to touch on anything else, Andy?
I really just basically just let everybody know that I had some people ask me, like, I had somebody I got on the phone call today, and they asked me like what's the worst thing that could happen? Like he was like trying to figure out something. He was saying like, everything you're telling me is like, it ain't no way I can't go with it, cause you telling me everything. He was like, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I told him the worst thing that happen is that you don't work. The worst thing that could happen is he don't put the work in. That's the only way that it could fail. That's like everything else, you see it happening. Everywhere you go, you see people building. So you know it works. So the only thing that ain't gonna make it work is you. If you don't work, it ain't gonna work. You the engine. Like if the engine don't got the right type of gas in it, the engine ain't moving, then it ain't gonna work. The car not going nowhere. So it's on you. If you want it to work, you got to make it work. All I could do is give you the game. I can't make it work for you. You got to go out there and put in the work.
So there was a question about a debt being charged off. What I would do to clarify what happened with that is go back to the original lender and ask for the ledger of the debt, and do this through mail, email, just something where you're able to keep it for your records, show records of it, and that's going to show you where the money went to. Like if the IRS gave them a credit, if the 1099 the remainder of the debt, and so forth. There was a Do you need the money to get the land or that's by Mema J.
Do what?
Do you need the money to get the land or no?
Need what money?
I think she's asking if like she needs to purchase, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Mama, but are you asking if you need to purchase the lot?
Who gonna purchase it?
Her question is not clear. she she said, do you need the money to get the land or no?
Yeah. Or the credit, you get the money off the credit card for the land, or however you're gonna get if you got the cash already. But other than that, unless the city giving away free lots, but you might have to you laughing, but our city give away free lots. I got one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Talk
I just got
about
one. I just won one of those. But yeah, you're gonna have to find a way to get the lot. You gotta get the lot. The lot gotta be purchased, unless you can work out something. The city giving them away. But it's stipulation behind that because they gave me a lot. But I gotta make it affordable housing. I can only sell it 80% of the ARV because I
that.
gotta make it affordable housing. So I can't sell it no more than 320K.
How much would you have been all in after you or you fix it up?
After I fix it up, like when I got through building it, everything around here going for 375, 400. So I can't sell it no more than 320, but I ain't have to pay for the lot. So I
Mm,
still on it for 150 like I do. Still make 150, ain't nothing.
mm.
Small thing to the giant.
Sudi Lean, what are you spending on lots? How much money are you spending on lots?
Around here, okay. I got some lots, like the lots I'm selling to my Mastermind students. They gonna be like 60K. But the average lots around here going for like 180, 90. You're lucky to find one under 100K. But I'm giving it to them under 100 because they're rocking with
Evolution of Black Me. I never got a letter saying how much it sold for. You need to contact the original lender and ask them to send you a copy of the ledger, and it's your account, so you have all that right to request a ledger of the account. If they don't want to give it to you, you can take them to court and get it. The financing company for the bootcamp fee, is that for personal or business financing? Also, will they report to personal? So they pull your TransUnion and Experian report, and they report to your personal.
it. It's a soft pull at first into it, and if you get approved, then they pull, then they turn to a hard, but it's a soft one at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until you approve the terms of the loan, then that's when they do a hard pull. Key Glean C. I'm assuming it's Key Glean, North Carolina. Can you partner with the lot owner, or does the lot need to be in my name to get hard money?
Yeah, that whoever, or if the person, both of y'all name gonna have to be on it if you partner with somebody, but it depends on who you're partnering with. If it's somebody that's not on the same mindset as you don't want to partner with somebody that just own a piece of land because they can try to back out. You want to get it in your name. You got time for the games.
Yeah. The baby Malaya. You spoke of creative financing on Erica's video. Can you elaborate on how you pull the money off cards and put it into business accounts? So we basically show you there's different ways to pull the money from that account. One of them, there's just so many of them, but one of them is to like purchase items from one of the stores that comes to my mind right now is Dick's. Right, you purchase items through using your credit card, and then whenever you go return the items, they'll ask you to insert the card you used to purchase the items. you just put your debit card in there. So they're going to go ahead and return all that purchase into your debit card. They're not going to verify to see if that's the same card that you use. So that's one way to pull the money out of your card. And then you use it to pay down your personal cards. Obviously, you're going to purchase the items with the business card, and then you're going to return the item to your debit card and then use that money to pay down the personal card, if that makes sense. Sutiline, got lots, want to unload, hit me up. Oh, he's promoting himself.
Where's lots of that? If
I
you
think
gonna promote, go ahead and promote the right way. Where they at?
D Digital White. Hi Gigi, this is Derek. Is there a resource that has templates for disputing the credit bureaus? I did this self-lender and found an address to report as rent as you suggested. Are you and I working together? I'm sorry, I don't have the name. I don't remember everybody, but if you text me, if you have my number, just text me. Otherwise, if you're trying to do this on your own, like I mentioned earlier, I'm putting something together, so just stand by. In the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna launch it. That's it right now. Is Sony here? Sony from California? I think that's all right now, Andy.
Okay.
So the next bootcamp is just around the corner. It's in June 11th.
9 days away. It's going
9
down.
days, sir. How many spots do you have left?
It's 3 spots left,
Yep.
and people signing up. People putting in them applications. So it'll be filled soon. You want to get there. You know, the next one might be a little higher. It might not be the same price. If you wait, you might pay a little more. So you want to get in while you can. First boot camp was cheaper than this boot camp. This boot camp got more to offer, giving them a little bit more. So the next one might be a little bit more, cause you might get a little more. So the longer you wait, the more you're gonna have to pay. And especially when y'all start seeing these receipts, when they start coming back with these receipts, the price going up to about 10K easy. When y'all start all these people making the money that we finna make them, yeah, it's definitely going up. So right now is the best time to get in.
All right, listen, I did meant to ask you to touch on this. There's somebody, Camp Go Out 46. He said, is there ever a time to rehab instead of build?
It is, but it ain't now.
Oh, exactly.
You look around, it's what you see, more rehabbing or you see more building. It's like building season right now. Everybody out here building. Building is where the money at. Rehab is like that was years ago. People were doing it then when the money was in it. It ain't even enough spread in it to do rehabs no more. You get all the spread is in building. Like we building at less than 200K. You can't buy a rehab less than 200K. You're gonna pay more than 200K for a rehab that needs work still. So why would I rehab when I could build a whole house at less than what I could pay for a rehab? And you know, people be crying about, okay, but it take you longer to build it. Okay, so what? I just build more than one. Simple as that. I just do 3, 4 at a time. So that every quarter I got one closing. I got one being done. So it ain't hard to do. It's just numbers. You just gotta learn how to work them.
And another pro to building is that you get unexpected surprises when you're rehabbing. Like the contractor might tell you it's going to be $20,000, and they throw a wall down and $10,000 surprise behind that.
Right. I bet when I go to sell mine, if I sell it and they have inspection gonna pass like that. When that rehab will go to have inspection, he's gonna have his fingers crossed, hope that they don't find nothing wrong. And when they do, that's another month that you gotta wait to get all that fixed. We don't have them problems.
Strictly hustling, Andy. He said, "Hi, Andy. My brother Hey Andy, my brother, you and hey Andy, my brother, you are truly motivation for me. How did you overcome fear to leave the streets behind and go all in with real estate?
I overcame fear because of my kids. My kids was the only reason I had to stay out here. Like before then, I was just living. I ain't had nothing to live for. I was just going day by day, just doing what I needed to do just to survive. Then when my kids came, it was like I can't go back to jail. I can't be in there while my kid out here have somebody else raising my kid. That's like the worst feeling in the world. Have another man taking care of your kids. I couldn't have it, so I just had to find out a way to make a way. It just had to make it work. Something had to work. I tried a couple things. A couple things didn't work, but when I went to real estate, I seen them numbers. I seen them checks. It was a whole nother level. Like I ain't even want to do nothing else. Like I was painting cars. Painting cars was good, but it wasn't good into the real estate. The real estate a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Checks I ain't never seen before. I couldn't count that many zeros.
Key Glen, Key Glen, North Carolina. Do we need a GC to build?
A GC?
Hmm.
Yeah, you got to work. We work under a GC license. We got a GC. We pay the GC to work under his license, and we just have him put inspections for us. And we do. We sub our own work. We find our own subcontractors to go do the work. But we work up under a general contractor license. So you don't need no license yourself. You just got to find one to work up under, and we show you how to find those.
There's a
That was
colors.
a good question too. A lot of questions coming.
There's a colors by creation semper fi. Yes, I am a Marine veteran. Had to put that out there. um, there's another question here. Robert Nettles, how are the taxes? Question for Andy and question for Gigi. Do you do taxes? Like personally, no.
We're in real estate, so you know the whole goal of real estate is to defer taxes. That's our whole goal. Like we move taxes into other places. You know, when you get to certain levels, when you get past enough zeros, you learn how to move your taxes, and you know you just gotta have the right CPA that know how to do that. But you know it ain't like what you think. Like we ain't trying to just pay all them taxes. We just know how to defer it.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing, that's another important thing for when you have LLCs. And I'm gonna talk about it because, and I know I told Andy I got hit up. I've been avoiding, so I was divorced. I've been divorced for a few years already, and between my ex-husband and I, we incurred a large number of debt with the IRS, right? So I've been avoiding it for like the past like 5+ years, 6, 7 years, right? So they finally got tired of me avoiding them and they went into my bank account. They didn't even tell me. They just went to my bank account and they took over 5 digits. They took over $10,000, $15,000 of the second time. They hit it up three times. So they took the money out of my bank account and they just gave me a warning. The bank told me that if I didn't have the money, then they were gonna suspend or freeze all my accounts. But I have a lot of bank accounts and several banks, right? The money that's under the LLC is protected. So the IRS cannot touch that money. It's only the money that's under my name. So that's the beauty of having an LLC too. And it works vice versa too, where if the LLC owes money, they're not going to come after your personal money. They're only going to go for over, they're going to only go towards that money in the LLC and not your personal money.
All right. And then another thing too, what you can do, taking a step above that, you can also get land. You can also get trust. You know, trust. You know, that's another thing you can use. Like you can use the trust over an LLC, or you can use trust just over your name. Like, and that's another place you put stuff in. But that's another story. Go ahead, keep going.
I am
Ready
God's
for that.
I am God's risk. Hello, Gigi and Andy. I'll be working with y'all soon. how much is the overall price to build a house, and what's the price you sell your homes for?
The average price to build a house where I'm at now, with the house I build, 1,500 square foot, I'm building at 150. I'll be all in around about 200 with the lot, and then they selling for 375 to 400K. So that's what? That's a profit of what, just 175, ain't much.
Um, Cam, go out 46. How long does it take your typical student to get the funding necessary to do a build on average?
You do the funding, GG.
We just spoke about it earlier ago. We had Eddie. I don't think he's online right now, but we had Eddie that left. 3 weeks later, he got like $250,000. There was another one of his mentees that I asked to come online, but he's celebrating his wife's anniversary, so we gave him a pass, or his their anniversary. He wasn't that hungry. I think he only got like $80,000. It just depends on how hungry you are. And whenever you guys go through the boot camp, we give you guys the lenders to apply to. So you have to sit down a lot, like 4 to 5 hours to apply to all these lenders and attack them all at one time. So you're not getting the inquiries like one day for one group, and then you wait and you sit down and you do it again like 4 days later or a week later, because now you have inquiries accumulating, and some lenders are hard on the inquiries, and if you have more than two, they'll automatically deny you.
That's a gym. All in the same day, around the same hour. They won't read. They won't see all the inquiries that you're putting together. A gym.
Strictly hustling. Andy, Andy, do you think that wholesaling land would be a better strategy than wholesaling houses in this market?
Yes.
And hit him up if you find land.
Right.
Real estate by Butler. Thank you for your service, dear. Shout out to Andy. I'm in Miami myself. Hope to work with you one day, OG.
Yes, sure. To make it happen, all you gotta do is speak it into existence. Don't hope. Just say it's gonna happen.
Real estate by Butler again. How was it transition from developing single family to moving into multifamily, other than zoning differences? Anything else you ran into? Excuse me.
Say, how's the difference from going to what?
How was it different? How was the transition from developing single family to moving into multifamily, other than zoning differences? Anything else you ran into?
It really ain't much. It's just basically you just doing a bigger project. It's just the same as doing a single family. You just doing bigger. You just doing like the one I'm doing. I'm doing a 6 unit. It's just like six duplex. Well, six townhomes is like six duplexes. So it ain't a duplex. Is just like a house with a wall down the middle. So it ain't hard. It ain't no rocket science. It's the same thing. And it's like I'm not building it. All I'm doing is telling. I got the architect to draw it up, and I'm just telling the people to go do it. It's, instead of you building this one house, build two, build six, build them together, make them stick together. Don't make them apart. That's multifamily. It ain't hard. It's just real simple. It's just when you think it's hard, it just seems hard, but it really ain't. Cause you gotta think about it. We not doing the work. We just telling other people to do it. We
Mm-hmm.
just finding the worker. We hiring the worker to go do the work. We just put it together.
I'll talk about that one that you have with the ADU, Andy.
Okay, we have lots. I have lots to where like, okay, if I get any lot over 5,500 square feet, I put a house in the front and the ADU in the back. ADU is a accessory dwelling unit, and that's like an apartment garage. So I have a house in the front, apartment garage in the back, and the bottom part is a garage, and then it can be converted into another unit. So that'll make it like a triplex. So that'll be multifamily for you too, as you were saying. That's three incomes that you could get off of one piece of land.
Yep. Um, Queen Edward VI. Andy, can you recommend anyone for trusses in the area that will take less than 6 months.
Any what?
Trusses. You want for trusses in the area that will take less than.
In what area? What area you in?
I'm assuming area.
In this area, ain't nobody really doing trusses around here but Tibbetts. Tibbetts don't bought out Florida Forest. So they don't monopolize. They don't took over. Like, you got to go to them. They got to pre-order. But, you know, at the boot camp, we teach other strategies to where we don't got to go through them problems. We don't have problems like that.
Chief Investor, I found a lot for 450K in California. I see the potential to build multifamilies. What's the first step I should take? Go to the boot camp.
Right. To make sure that the numbers even make sense.
Yeah.
You want to know, you want to check the numbers first. Make sure that if you buy a lot for 450, you better be able to sell it for more than almost close to 2 mil.
What county you in, Andy, and where can you find a lot under 60K?
I'm in Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, and I could find a lot right here for 60K, under 60K. Did it many times. Still doing.
The lady with the trust question said Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah. Same answer.
Real estate by Butler. You can skip trace tax delinquent landowners and work those. I've gotten land for 25K just like that.
Right. It ain't hard. It's real easy. You just got to put the work in. A lot of people don't like putting in the work. Everybody wants stuff given to them. They think you can just go out on the market and find stuff that cheap when you really can't. You got to go find it. If you find it on the market, it's going to be at a retail price. You're going to pay way overpriced. So you got to get out and find it. But a lot of people don't like getting gritty. They want a deal, but they don't want to work for it.
So Andy, now that what motivates you? Now that you're in the game, what keeps you motivated to continue growing?
What motivates me is to see me teaching other people doing it and making other people make moves. That's my motivation now. I want to see other people doing it, not just me. I want to build in a circle of everybody together. Everybody, we gonna link up. We just gonna do what we do. We gonna have, when I was young, I always wanted, not even young, like I always wanted to have people that I could talk to that was doing the same thing I was doing. So that's what I'm trying to create. Everybody that's building. So we got stuff to talk about. It ain't just being around people, and the conversation ain't good. So you don't even want to hang with them. Like, you don't want to talk to them because they ain't got nothing to talk about. I do that with a lot of people. Like, a lot of people, I go hang with people and then I see them talking, but how they talk, I don't be on that. Like, I ain't on that. I don't do that no more. I'm over here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So I be looking for people that's doing anything I'm doing, or got to talk the same way I talk. Like, I want to hear something about, like, okay, I got this land, or okay, I'm finna build this, I'm finna do that. That what catch my conversation. Okay, now that what make me happy. That's what I want to hear. And if I ain't hearing that, if I'm hearing people crying and pouting and complaining, that's a big turnoff. I mean, I need to get from around now. I need to be around people that's ready to make moves, that's inspiring. Like, I don't need to be nobody that's taking away your energy. So me, I'm trying to create that. I'm trying to create that room to where everybody, we doing it. We got it going on. Like, everybody making moves, and it's finna happen.
It's amazing. It's unbelievable the way that the people around you impact your mental state. They can either like boost you up, like Andy's talking about, or they can drag you. Just that we were in the conference this weekend, and people were talking about, I don't know if it was a concert, I don't know if it was a club. They were talking about something, right?
Yeah.
We were all together, Andy, myself, and one of his friends. And they asked us if we went. We didn't know what the heck was going on, right? But neither one of us is about that life, right? We were all tired. We were all there for one reason. We weren't there to party. Like, all of us had the same mentality. Yet the other group went out and they did whatever they did. and they ended up missing half of the event the following day.
They went to Club Dreas. He was going
Yeah.
to perform. He was there, and they had a little pool party and all that. They went to party. We didn't go to party. We went to come up. You know, we got different mindsets. Everybody got different mindsets. Like party, I partied enough when I was younger. I don't need to party no more. I party like Magic Johnson said. Remember Magic Johnson said, I don't go to clubs no more. I buy the club.
Yeah.
Club. Well, I'm gonna go to the club for. My whole goal is to own the club. I don't want to be in there. I don't did when I was younger.
Yeah.
Nothing enough for me. Like ain't nobody on what I'm on. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't need to be there. What I'm gonna be there for?
Yeah. Yeah. My comment is like, I ain't got time for that. Like, ain't nobody got time for that right now.
That I'm looking for. That's talking about what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about that in there.
Exactly.
Everybody else trying to come up on something, go home with something. I ain't on that.
Yeah. Damn go 46. Do you ever SIP SIP structural insulated panels for house building or any stick build?
No, I ain't did it yet, but I see people doing it. It's just that ain't nothing I do yet. Like me, I like my house out of block. It's more stronger, sturdier. All that insulated panels, like it's a house right down the street from where I'm at now. They got the wood panels with foam in the middle. That's the insulated panel. Then they put them up as the walls, and that just seemed like it remind me of the Three Little Pigs. You got the house out of straws. You got the house out. Got the other house, and it's just huff and puff, and a tornado comes, it's gonna blow that mess down. I ain't got time for it. I want the house. I want the block house. I want mine to last.
Yeah. Uh, Chancey KJB, what's the schedule for the 2 days?
The first day is first thing you're gonna get is Gigi. You're gonna get the credit. You're gonna get Gigi telling you how to do the high limit credit card, how to take the money off the credit, how to hide your utilization. She's gonna tell you all that, explain all that to you. And after that, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get the step-by-step process on how to build. Then after I teach you how to build, it's gonna be lunchtime. After lunch, we got well, it's probably gonna be me a little bit more, probably like another 2 more hours finishing up what I'm teaching you. Then after that, we got everybody coming in. We have the architect, the engineer, the contractors, we have the workers, we have the block guys, we got the electricians, we got all them coming in and talking to you, explaining, what they do, how to find them, like what they look for, like kind of, what they charge. Give you an idea of what you need to do and what you need to be looking for when you go out here. That's the end of the day. They ended at first day. They're going to end with them. Then that second day is when we go out to all the properties that I got that I'm working on, and we're going to show you every stage, all of them in different stages. So we're going to show you what it took to get where they at, and like what's next in the process, and what's next. What's the next step from where it's at? And then we're just going to answer any questions, and then basically give you that hands-on experience so you can know what it looked like and what you'll be going through. And that's the 2-day journey.
I am God's risk. Do you have a date for your next boot camp yet?
Nope, not yet. It'll be September though, probably beginning the first week, maybe the first week of September.
Mm-hmm. There was a comment by Real Estate by Butler, but Birds of a Feather. Bossmon _Tony, how you find good subcontractors at good rates? Block guys, roofers, plumbers, etc.
Basically, I went over that a little early. Like we just catch people pull up the people that's like when you go drive through your neighborhood or when you roll coming home or leaving, going to work, wherever you're going, you see people building all the time. You just don't pay no attention to it. When I see them type of people, I'm pulling over. I'm pull over and I go ask them, hey, you got a car? You got a phone number? Then I ask them, do they know other people? Do you know a block guy? Do you know an electrician? Do you know an HVAC? You keep doing that enough, you're gonna build up a list to where your list's strong. You're gonna have so many contacts, they're gonna be calling you for work. You got anything? You ready for me? You ready? You got anything? So all you gotta do is do the work, and it's gonna come to you. Like that's how we started. And then them people, they already working, so you know they do good work. They don't get paid till the inspection pass. So it's like, what else do you need? You don't got to pay them until the inspection get passed. So if it ain't right, they don't get paid. They got to fix it. I don't know what else I could tell you. That simple.
Bossmom underscore Tony. Down here in Miami, prices 2 times higher.
Yeah, I think it's Miami. It's like when the people think of Florida, they think of Miami. That's the first place they going. So yeah, they don't drove up the prices down there. You got to go on the outskirts. You can't stay in the city.
That's another thing. They don't have to stay in their market, right? They can go to a different, like if they're in New York. I know I had one of your people tell me that the market was too expensive in New York.
Yeah, like a lot of people from New York, they going to like Baltimore. They going to Connecticut. They going to the places like that, Jersey, because it's cheaper in those areas. So yeah, you can go wherever you want to go. It just got to be a place you want to go. Like you don't want to just jump in the market to where you think you're just gonna jump in the market and everything's just gonna happen for you without you having to be there. You're gonna have to you gotta step foot in these places to
Hmm.
make sure it's going right. You can't just be dependent on other people to do stuff for you. This your legacy you playing with. This your name. You got to get out there and you gotta work it.
D, DJ Avish T, what is the estimate cost you spend before you get hard money involved?
25 to 35K.
That's not including the lot rate.
No, that's
Hmm.
it. That's when you start digging in the dirt to get to the foundation of the walls up, get the walls up so the hard money lender will come in and lend against it. But some of them lend sooner than that. But me, I like to get it right then, because then that first draw I get, that'll be a big draw because I got a lot of the work already done.
Mr. Duran, are you online? Are you here? If you are, can you request to get on the live, please? So now up until that point, up until you get in, you're able to get hard money lending. We're able to get you enough funding through credit cards, either the personal or the business, to be able to cover that cost, and that way you don't have to come out of pocket. And essentially, what we're doing is trying to get you guys in the habit of using other people's money to leverage whatever it is that you're trying to jump into, and not using your own money. Um, I think that's all we have, Andy. Unless you want to touch on anything else.
Every time we do that, we just keep going longer and longer.
I know. Every time I hear it, I was like, "What's the average fee for the architect to do his thing?"
The architect do a drawing. The architect run. Sometimes you gotta get an architect that's an engineer and an architect. That's the same person. Sometimes it's different. But just the architecture drawing could be anywhere from 15 to 25K. And then if you got somebody that don't do stamps, the stamp could be anywhere from, that's the engineer. The engineer could be anywhere from 800 to another 15K, 1500, just to put a stamp on it to check the architect's work to make sure he got everything right and your house gonna stand up.
So these are
Stamp
people,
it and put his name on it.
these are the professionals that Andy is going to have at the boot camp. So these are the type of questions you can ask the professionals yourselves, and that way, if you're not in the market that Andy's at, you can take that information, go back to wherever you're from, and then now you know what to look for. You're more confident in hiring whoever it is that you're trying to hire.
And then when they throw them prices at you, you be like, no man, you should be around this price. Like then it, okay, well yeah, I think I could do it for that. Because they gonna try out when they think you're green. They think you're green. Oh yeah, a high number out there just to see if you bite. And if you bite, you don't know what that number supposed to be. They gonna think they hit a lick. They gonna win. But if you know, like, no, that number look too high, man. I got somebody else gonna do it for this, but they just taking a little longer. But if you could do it right now, then I could do that. If you can meet their price and do it now sooner, then I'll roll with you. Watch how quick their price come down.
Talk about fear, Andy. There's a comment here about the fear is this lady said my fear is bad contractors. Like we all have fears. Like I have fear of like getting on the road and getting
Yeah, I bet that same person you're talking about, she did fix and flips before. That's it with doing rehabs. When you do rehabs, you get bad contractors, and they scare you like that. And new construction is a whole nother league. It's like it ain't you can't compare the two because when you do contractors, and then you got to think we our own we our own sub we sub all our work out. We don't give no one person the whole job. When you do a rehab, you try to get a contractor. You try to get him to do the whole job, and he gonna try to hit you for a lot of money. See, we give our people get pieced out. The most be 10, 15K. Well, probably 10K, and that's probably the framer. The framer gonna get the most money. But everybody else, they get little draws. Cause we ain't paying no one person to do the whole thing. And then, like I said, you don't get paid until the inspection is passed. So what's to be scared of? But when you're doing fix and flips, you get them that money for them to start. They say we need this, or we ain't gonna start. We need this, so we need this to go buy the material. We need this to do that. We need this to do that. So that's how they get you, and then they run off with the plug, run off on the plug. And that's just the game. That's how it goes. It's a whole nother league. You can't compare rehabbers to new construction because it ain't the same. It's totally different.
and fear is a mindset change too. Like, because fear is gonna keep you in that space that you're in, like trying to analyze everything and trying to make sure that everything is crossed right and dotted right. You have to do it. You have to do it scared. Either do it scared or you're gonna stay like you're gonna be scared.
Yeah, you're gonna do it, but it's like, how you gonna be scared when you got somebody showing you? I did it without nobody showing me. Imagine how scared I was. I did it not knowing what to do. I did it not knowing nothing about no workers. Nobody told me how to find no workers. Nobody didn't tell me I need all the steps that I had to go through to get permits. Or I need to get this done or get this done first, then do this, then do this. I had to figure all this out on my own. I ain't had nobody to show me nothing, and I made it through. So it's like fear is just something that's gonna keep you back. Like you can't be scared. You just gotta get out here and make moves. If you don't make no moves, you just gonna start watching other people make them around you. Cause somebody gonna make them. It's either gonna be you or them.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody ain't scared.
Yep.
Money involved, and people see that money, especially when you get a little taste of it. All that fear go out the window. It's like it's a whole nother league.
Yeah.
You can't be scared. Just gotta get out here and take chances. All the scared people, them the people that's making 5 figures. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no scared people making 6, 7 figures. All the scaredness out the way. Scared people still in them 5 figures, still working on jobs. They scared to go take a chance on themselves. They rather feel comfortable getting that check every week or every 2 weeks from that job. So when you could tell the people who scared, who got fear, because you could tell by a person's income if they got fear in them or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Um, just to touch on that, I used to work for the government. I worked for the government my entire life. And it was one day where I got tired of working over 13 hours for them, right? I got to my job at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I packed all my crap up. I put it in bags and I waited for my supervisor to get there. I had like, I don't know how many months worth of leave, right? I think I might have taken like 3 months worth of sick leave. So I waited for him to get there and I told him like, hey, I don't feel good. Because if I don't feel good, they can't hold me back. Like they have to let me go, right? So I waited for my supervisor to get there and I told him I don't feel good. And I didn't feel good for a whole 3 months. During those 3 months, I set myself up right and I was still getting paid, but I knew I wasn't going back. So that was my last time working for anybody.
so that was your way of quitting.
I didn't even tell him I was quitting. I said I didn't feel good. I'll be back. No, I
You
didn't.
cheated your way of quitting.
Yes, sir. Yep. I got tired of it.
But
Yeah. But all right, so we've been on for like an hour and a half, Andy. I think this is it. My voice is like it's really hurting now.
yes, it is. It's over with.
We're gonna try to jump on every week. I know we said that last time, but I think we were in Vegas last time, so that's why it didn't happen.
Right, that Friday.
Yeah. So we'll
All right, that's it.
see. All right.